There we go. Much better. Wonder why that wasn't working. Or because I probably plugged it out. But whatever. Whatever. I'm professional, I promise. I'm definitely very professional. Oh, it's been longer than 5 minutes. My bad, I was just posting on whatchamacallit. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Boop. That's bad. Just posting on the social medias saying, hey, I'm live. I probably shouldn't. Okay, I'm back. Time for something I forgot to actually do. Shit. La 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 la. What's that one? Okay, asshole. There we go. Ta-da! Ta-dee! Ta-da! I forgot to actually set up the... for the camera. Ow! Okay. Fuck, that hurt. Okay. We've been here 10 minutes and I've done basically nothing. Fun! And... woo! Life. Life goes on and on and on. Sorry. Sorry if my nose is a bit stuffy. I don't know why it is, but it's being a pain in my ass. So, I'm not entirely sure why this is part of the LGBT, but then again, you don't really need an explanation on why you're you. So, this was excuse me. This was underneath the LGBT tag on itch.io and various other places. That doesn't show. It does show. Oh, because it's the window to the wall to the sweat that drops down my what? Okay, so this basically the story is it's a short story about a mortician. Welcome, Charlie. Nice to meet you. My name is Matthew. I'm mainly going to be the man who delivers the bodies to you. Helps with some of the more heavy lifting. Ever hear that joke about the horse driver? I'll tell it to you when I come by in a bit. Looking forward to working together. I think you'll enjoy working here. Amy is a sweetheart, but she runs a tight ship. Nothing I can't handle. I'm sure. She wouldn't have hired you otherwise. Cheers and good luck, Matthew J. Amy Rose is here. Hello and welcome. Hello, everyone. I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce our new funeral director, Charlotte or Charlie. Oh, she's trans. They're trans. Are you dead name? Oh. Oh. Huh. So that's how it's part of the LGBT. The main character is trans. Nice! Also, dead name. Out of the screen. That's actually right to be referred to. Charlie is a graduate who came recently. I hope it's not dead name. Because I feel bad. Dead naming them. Well, I guess we can learn more about. I see this is going to be the main part of the story's instructions. Well, you're new here, so you'll probably explain where everything is. In your office, preparation room, you'll find cremation station, crematory station, and modeling station, and now, since you're reading this email, a desk area. I know you have experience working with these stations, but please let me know if you have any questions. Where's the museum curator? I guess my subject lines. This is either a really good friend or girlfriend. What's the difference? It's best to respect people's wishes, especially in this Pride Month, because it is illegal to be straight. Excuse me. It not actually is, but if you're being an asshole, then you're gonna get whooped. Anyway, I guess my subject lines to you should start being more professional now that we are business professionals. I can't wait to get your replies so I can see your fancy email signature. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot about email signatures. I'm just sticking with sincerely my name. Not the movie. I love that we were able to hand this gig straight after graduating. It's so super cool. What do you need to major in to get a job as a mortician? I'm assuming it's like something medical based, since you would be able to handling scalpels and such, getting deep into the bodies. Huh. Even though mom and pop funeral homes were a thing until now, guess it's just not something I really thought about that much. Honestly, same. One moment. Squash said to me, it was 69 degrees this morning. Or 68 degrees. And 69 when I went to sleep. Okay, fine. Just making sure. Okay. Whew. Wait one moment. I'm fine. Okay, back to the game. I know we're not doing a lot of things right now, but we're progressing. I'm reading the story because that's how this is going to be portrayed. It's like a slime rancher where the game is just ranching slimes, but the whole story is a part of these emails. Yeah, I didn't know mom and pop shops, funeral homes were a thing either. Really think about that much. I should look more into this, learn more about your world and industry because, as I said, we're serious professionals. Speaking of being professional, my museum gig is amazing. I can't believe somebody paid me to move to London, not London, on Owen. Oh. On, no idea. Not London, Canada, serial killer capital of Canada, to work in a museum. Like, take that, everyone who said I couldn't get a job as a with an art history degree. Hey, art history. I'll tell you more about when we Skype. My stories require you to see my face and that you hear my excellent British accent and impersonation. Also, I signed you up for a funeral monthly newsletter. Consider it your graduation gift. Love you. I'm super proud of you. Gift. Love you, love you, love you. Jen L. Which I'm assuming is this one. Funeral monthly. Thanks for describing. Each month we bring you a new newsletter featuring a particular topic pertaining to death industry. This is a new entirely etiquette, attending a funeral, say this, public questions, here are, because definitely most of the popular ones. Funerals are a hard time, and we understand that, but some are quick to easy. Here are some quick and easy rules. Remember to be respectful at a funeral. Generally following the guidelines, don't be a jerk. Should work. Remember, chat, if you're ever at a funeral, God forbid, always remember these. Don't be on your cell phone. You have to be engaging because you actually need to show compassion and love to the actual person. Because even if they're dead, they still know ghosts and such. Don't be loud and obnoxious, that's a bit of a given. You can share happy stories, but don't like, no! Why do you have to die? In the audience. Don't get drunk. That's not a good way to actually remember the funeral. Unless you're the one that's dead. In which case, be drunk as much as you want. Happily reminisce. Sometimes remembering happy moments and positive experiences with the deceased can be a productive part of the healing process. Oh. Also, yes, be happy. Actually, don't remember the happy times, but don't be overdoing it. I will honestly say I've never been to a funeral, and honestly, I hope I don't. Because... Fuck! Oh, you know what I should be doing? I bought these pins to wear, to wear in general. But I haven't actually put them on, and I'm very upset that I haven't actually done that for the charity streams. Here we go. Ta-da! Ta-da! Haha! I know you're technically not able to see it right now, but... it happens. Happy New Year, give condolences, just be happy. I mean, don't be a dick, basically, at a funeral. That's just the general consensus. Don't be a dick. You dress appropriately, it's black suit and tie, or dress if you'd like. Black veil. Give a gift or a sign of the registration book. That's usually a thing. If you don't have any idea what to get as like an actual gift, money works. Flowers also work. Okay. I'm gonna have to do the reply to the auto response because you have to do the thing. Okay. One moment. Your nose. Who are you? Okay. Now we can actually, it's been 23 minutes and now we can actually, or I guess 20 minutes. And now we can actually get into the game, kind of. Reminisce. Remember. Calm, cool, steady. I don't know why my nose is all stuffy today. Hope you settled in okay so far. Matthew should have dropped off your first body for you on the, to work on. He said you're really friendly. He's glad to have somebody young and lively to work with. You'll get used to the sense of humor. Your first body is Miss Garcia, an elderly woman who died suddenly of a heart attack. The family has asked for a closed casket funeral, so no embalming or body preparation is necessary. The family seems to be a bit more united than previous families we've dealt with. Strange how grief affects people differently. Perhaps having more time to say goodbye makes things a bit easier, if that's possible. I swear to God, I know this is bad to say because it's a dead body, but I swear to God, if the dead body has like a face, I can understand why they would have a closed casket. Or it's purely for the fact of they don't want to see somebody they love so much in a resting position. Yeah, in that resting position. Because they don't like to picture them. Because you don't like to picture your loved ones dead. If you do, you might need to see therapy. And I will honestly say, if you do need therapy, please get therapy. I know earlier in like previous streams, my mom came in and was like, "We don't Mexicans don't need therapy." Lots of not true. Get therapy. I'm sorry. Though you will not be embalming Miss Garcia, I do think it's important to take the time to clean her body. No one is going to see her body, but I'd like to encourage my funeral directors to do this out of respect for the deceased and their loved ones. You'll find Miss Garcia's in the prep room. Talk soon. Of course, we will happily oblige your request for no embalming and for a closed casket. I'll ensure your funeral director receives our request. Oh, okay, I'm just a part of this. We're happy to be with Rose and daughters for my mother's funeral. We understand that you are usually procedures that must be followed in these situations, but if you could kindly not involve my mother, that would be greatly appreciated. Oh, this is the... Oh, I forgot emails go down then up. That makes a lot of sense. Rose and daughters. Now this is more information about the... this is more information about the thing. Funeral and daughters. Emily Rose. There's a... I'm pretty sure there's a little reference to something in Emily Rose in the name, but I'm not entirely sure. Okay, now I need to figure out how to do these things. Dope, that's her, and we just gotta clean the body. Hopefully it doesn't show anything, if you know what I mean. From the looks of it, it doesn't. This is the prep room where you will prepare bodies for the funeral and viewings. Because the family has requested a close-cut ceremony, no embalming is necessary. You're just going to clean the body. Click on the sponge and drag it over here. Okay. Okay, I don't have to hold it. Oh, I do have to hold it. Okay. Can we please close your eyes? I'm sorry, but can we please close your eyes? That's it. You're done. Miss Garcia will be sent to Mike, who will take care of the dressing and putting her in her casket. It's time to go to Mr. Garcia's funeral. You are responsible for taking care of the deceased's body, but you're also important to pay respects to the loved ones. Follow the heirs to the funeral parlor. We're not able to see anything else. They look pretty. Anything else? Aside from the funeral etiquette? Okay. So. Okay. Ooh, food. We should have, she would have hated these paintings. You're so particular. Yeah, at least she doesn't have to see them, I guess. I guess. You have to talk to everybody, I'm assuming. Or I think the last thing is, we don't usually small talk a lot of these things. It's at least what I was always taught. That makes sense. I hate wearing pantyhose. I like it's so itchy, but it's always so cool in these funeral homes. I think I might actually miss these sweaters. She used to knit these for me now. Mommy, I'm hungry. When can we go? Yeah, she'll never understand all this. Unfortunately, well, he would, but not as a kid. I've heard these families specifically said no embalming. I thought it was mandatory, required by law. I guess not. Embalming weirds me out. Do those chemicals leach into the ground sometimes? Strange. It used to be strange to be used a chemical that is known to cause cancer and putting it into the ground like that. Or the sewer. That's what they must do with the leftover formaldehyde, right? It's poured down the drain. At least embalming guarantees you won't be buried alive. Hehe, stop it. Don't make me laugh right now. And last but not least, pay your respects. Hey, I didn't mute myself. You what you're talking about, Willis. Okay. I'm so frustrated right now. Oh? Okay, let me explain this a little bit more detail. A colleague and I were discussing Tight Lacer's liver specimen we have here at the museum. It's a woman who died in 1907, and the liver is tapered towards, from what the doctor leading the autopsy believed to be too tight lacing on her corset. It's fascinating because it's kind of controversial topic. Tight lacing is super popular, and what people associate with fancy hysterica, fainting and hysteria, it's actually been associated with viscopasis? No, visceropatosis. No idea. I'm not entirely sure. Let me make sure there's no other. Okay, here it is. I'll have to go bottom up. Unfortunately, 4 a.m. Jesus Christ. Can I rant for a second? I'm so tired of hearing strangers, colleagues, and male colleagues, get on my case for wearing corsets. I wear them under my blazer and over my nice blouse. It's not like I'm dressing inappropriately, even though dress codes are such sexist, by the way. Oh, 100%. And like, I hate how their misogyny gets veiled in a fox concern. Jen, I'm just worried about you damaging your body. Why the fuck do you care about my body? You know what corsets do to your livers, right? Absolutely nothing. Corsets don't do anything to the liver. They're definitely not hurting me as much as you're condescending hurting my head. Sorry. I'm out of storage right now. I'll send you another email a little bit more when I've cooled off. That's about an hour ago. I mean, hour and... two-side lacing, right? Is super unsettling because it can also be caused by pregnancy. My baby being pregnant. So, long story short, I realize it says too long. I never knew that TLDR is too long didn't read. Long story short, corsets probably messed up my some bones, but they likely didn't do this kind of internal organ damage. That's not how that works. Yeah, why would corsets do internal damage? That makes no sense. I mean, tightening bones, but that's because you have to like tighten like whatever is here. That way, it's not just out and just play. It's to look pretty. I mean, of course, if you tighten it super tight where you can't breathe, yeah, of course you're gonna fucking die. There's some bones and organ damage. I'm tired of this concession about my wardrobe that implies I don't know what I'm doing. These kinds of things I especially research, and yet I'm treated like I know nothing. I'm having a day, Charlie. Appreciate you. Oh, nice. Please pass along our deepest thanks to you and your staff for the wonderful job they did with our mother's funeral. It was really lovely. Our family is so rare. Let's really get together. Since come out in such a beautiful service. My son never gets to see his family. Also, it was incredibly kind of you to let us bring our own food. Getting home to share cooked meals, sharing stories, and being together. It meant a lot. I know. Sorry. So what I'm saying is, it was nice for everyone to be here like that, together in that way. I know how much of that was due to the work of your staff, especially your funeral director. And I don't think that was me. Thank you for making a difficult time easier for all of us. Mia Garcia. Just passing a message along. Good work, Charlie. Sorry about death. Okay, this is a long one. Hey there, Charlie. I was driving around the other day, taking our clients onto their last trip around town, and was thinking, strange, Strange, I know. And I was thinking, strange, I know. Do I ever tell you the first time I went to the funeral? I was a teenager, about to start university, and a friend of mine was killed in a car accident, totally out of the blue. Real tragic stuff. It messed me and my friends up real good, real good. But so, the big day, we all got into our best suits and dresses and packed ourselves in a few cars but there were a lot of us. So we had at least 3 different cars full of us, like clown cars, While we're in possession going to the ceremony, somebody in our car got a phone call from a friend in a different car. Turns out some asshat driver who doesn't know how to get in the way of progression drove through the intersection and smashed straight into our friend's car. Nobody was hurt, but thank God. But can you imagine getting that call? Oh, especially after the friend you're going to the funeral for just got into a car accident. Whew. Anyways, one of my friends in the same car as me, the one who got on the phone who got the phone call, hang up and started laughing. Just laughing her ass off in a way that makes you not sure if they're really just crying or if they're gone fully off the deep end. And she's laughing, and then we all started giggling because, like, go figure. Life is a mess. Life messes up sometimes, There's no moral, no point to that story, I guess. Just remember that story, and wanted to tell you. I just remember that story and wanted to tell you because we work with deaths all the time, and I still sometimes we get caught off guard by what that actually means. Oh, before you get any ideas, that has nothing to do with why I became a funeral director. That decision became totally later, and nothing remarkable. It's nothing remarkable. Somebody has to do it, and I have a strong stomach, so why not? And finally, monthly. Ooh. We all know everyone who wants to be respected at funerals. Don't should to smile. A big part of knowing what to wear. Oh. So we're not. I think right now we're getting the body ready to be dressed. A moment. My nose is all stuffy. Better. I've never been to a funeral, so I can't say for sure. But if you wanna read it, go right ahead. But from what I've basically skimmed is black isn't usually the universal symbol for mourning. You don't always have to wear black. And colors have different meanings in different cultures. In Hinduism and Chinese cultures, white is typically color for funerals. For Islam, though, it is about the color you are wearing and more about how it's less about the color you're wearing and more about how modestly you're dressed. Like if you're, which I'm assuming is like, excuse me. Which I'm thinking means if you're more dressed fancy, then you're more worried about your appearance than the actual person that's there. It says refrain from wearing elaborate jewelry and be respectful of your behavior. I'm not sure how to pronounce the Sikh, S-I-K-H. Funerals, Sikh. I'm gonna go Sikh because there's no L for it. Silk. So, seek. Or Sika, I'm not sure. Color of the clothing isn't important, as it's dressing modestly to be able to probably sit cross-legged. Because why not? Rule. Basically, be respectful. You can wear whatever you want. Obviously, in some cultures, colors have a big impact on what on stuff. But ultimately, it's about like how you dress as opposed to like what color it is. Because if you dress like a slob at a party, at a funeral, you're gonna get looked at. So, I feel like there's something has to do with this, or it's just more information about the place we're working at. Next job. Okay. Hi, Charlie. There's instructions for your next body. You did a remarkable job in the first one. The family was very happy with you. No small feat, of course. Pleasing a grieving family isn't exactly the most comfortable of jobs. Your next job is a man named Mr. Duval. An elderly man died of old age. Nothing fancy. Dying of old age is what hurts me the most about life, because the term dying of old age basically just means they've gotten so old because it's a matter of you've gotten so old, or they've gotten so old they forgot how to breathe. And even if I know this is like a difficult topic to say for Pride Month. It's supposed to be happy and exciting, but like, life. It's life. So that's fun. Also, I'm assuming this game isn't inherently about LGBT, like with most games. It has it a part of it, but it's not specifically there, because the main character, was I'm assuming, is trans, only based off the name, not the name of the game, like the name Charlie, but that's only like speculation. Died of old age, nothing fancy, just a Samuel fusion with embalming. You can reach out to his daughter Lucy if you have any questions. She's handling her father's passing as well as can be expected. Always don't hesitate to ask me any questions. Best, Amy Rose. Amy Rose is here. Charlie, please remember to wear proper embalming gear. Formaldehyde is extremely dangerous. I know I don't need to tell you, but my maternal instincts are too hard to ignore. I promise I won't mother you too much. Just a little. Ask Matthew, he knows. We're only allowed to actually work with one. I think first we need to... This is a good game to learn how to be more... Traditional burials typically require embalming, which preserves the body and prevents it from decomposing as quickly. And we all know the body wants to eat itself. Unless the family requests otherwise, all traditional burials must use embalming. Let's start by cleaning the body. Drag the sponge and just go to town. I'm assuming that's hair. It's so pretty. I'm sorry, but like, it's very pretty. In order to break rigor mortis, you have to massage the body and click and drag over the massage the body. Yeah, because rigor mortis is stress on the muscles. It's also how a lot of warriors in like war times die standing up. They've exerted so much like energy and like strain on their body that they just can they can just die standing up. It's amazing, honestly. The eye plots deflate once the body starts decomposing. Click and drag the eye cap into the eye socket to give it its shape. Was that not? Oh, that's cotton balls. Eye caps. Eye caps. And to keep these eyes shut, you need to glue them. Glue. 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 That is... The mouth sags and hollows once the body starts decomposing. Grab the cotton balls. Oh, that's the sewing. This one. Open. Oh, wait. No, wait, what? Oh, just need to drag the needle and thread. Okay. Ah, lotion all over the body. Spent 6 grams from dying. Alt bulbing removes removing blood and replacing it with preserving chemicals. They can drag the scalpel over there. You're going to need a huge draining tube for draining the blood, which I'm assuming is this one. Never mind, it's this one. Never mind. Tubing. That is creepy. Now you need to connect the embalming machine, which is, I'm assuming, that one. No. Okay, additional tubing. Oops. There we go. Click the button to embalm the machine. What's this one then? Oh, we need to massage the body for along with things. This is interesting. Morbid, but interesting. Do we not need it? Okay. Ooh. Ah. I don't know how long this game actually is. I was told it's pretty short. It's a short one, but you know how I can drag quite a long bit. We need to drink the organs for the liquid to grab this thing and just poke. It's actually a pretty cozy game, weirdly enough. One moment, I need a sneeze. Mike will take care of the makeup and dressing him in his casket. Time to attend the funeral. Yeah, most of the game. That's most. This is like a large portion of the game, but that's about it. Food. I want to talk to everybody. Calm down. Came out of nowhere. I mean, what's? It always sort of does, doesn't it? Yeah, one moment you're laughing and having fun, and then the next, poof, the person's gone, just like gone. Yeah, it's weird to think about for too long. Like staring at the sun. Starting to feel dizzy when I think about it. So weird. How our bodies just stop working like that. Just stop working like that. It's fascinating. So strange not seeing most people wearing white. White? Yeah, it's different for different family members. I can't remember. Oh yeah, he's wearing gray. I haven't gone many traditional funerals, so mostly white. Like, definitely not red, no matter what. I wonder why not red? Oh, because red is supposed to be a sign for good fortune, which I'm assuming if you go to it at a funeral, it might be a bit bad. He's always wanted to make take his grandkids to the park, play catch. He loved playing catch. He threw a mean curveball, that's for sure. You can hear the game he's playing. That's cute. And now, pay my respects. And now I can leave. I'm assuming at some point we're gonna get a kid who, like, is absolutely devastated at all that. I love her tattoos, by the way. Okie dokie. Maybe. Ooh, hello. Wait a minute. Huh. I'm on the fence with this because. Okay, which one do we read first? I'm gonna go our love. Jen Love. Charlie. I was doing some reading. I know you hate it when I give you dating advice. But hear me out. There's a dating site that's specifically for people working in the death industry. Okay, so maybe it's a little. I'm a little worried for you. You haven't even mentioned anybody new since the breakup of 2014. That we will never speak of again after this moment. Anyway, but you're always saying how tired you get of people being scared to ask about your day. So maybe meeting somebody in that industry isn't the worst idea. Just promise me you'll consider it, okay? It's harder, I swear to God, if we find out that... Also, I'm assuming this is also a part of why it's a part of the LGBT tag. Anyway, if I find out that at the end of this game, the main character is going to be one of these bodies, I'm going to fucking flip. I'm sorry. Like... I'm going to bawl. I'm not gonna lie. Ask about your day. Maybe wait, no. Promise me you'll consider it. It's harder for me to make sure you're seeing sunlight when all the way across the ocean. I know you look like a babe with pale skin and witchy clothing. Okay, so she is just a friend, unfortunately. Aesthetics are super hot right now, but vitamin D is still a good thing. Mom runs over. I'm going to try it out because turns out people get super scared off when you tell them you work in a museum filled with dead bodies. Do you know how not interesting other people find teratomes? I'm not sure what that is. Charlie, I didn't know we were this weird to outside people. I've been spoiled by having the best friend who is as much of a weirdo as you are. Miss you. Let's grab a bottle of wine on our next Skype date. P.S. If you sign up for Dead Meat, that isn't the name for the dating that is the name. Isn't that the best name for a dead industry dating website? Tinder rules apply. You have to like me if you come across my profile or whatever. I'm not sure how it works either just yet. I'm gonna need to get onto that. I'm assuming we can't do it here, obviously. Okay, there is a question. Hello, this is embarrassing, but it seems I miscalculated some of our income, and I haven't enough to pay you this week. It would be terrible and inconvenient if I cut you a check for next week instead. If you need the money urgently, please let me know. I feel terrible about this whole thing, and can I cut you a check from my personal account if need be? I'm so sorry about this. I'm sure it won't happen again. I don't like the look of this one bit. I know you've only been with us for a few months. Maybe you're aware of the trouble Amy has been having. A small mom and pop shop like Rose and Daughters can't compete with bigger guys. Anyway, don't tell Amy I sent you this. You forwarded it. I sent you this. I'm also starving, so I'm gonna grab some fast food before taking the horse, though. Taking the horse to the car wash, 2 birds with 1 stone, and cycling back to the home. Do you want anything? Beef and cheddar? I'm going to take my horse to the old town road. Sorry, my horse through the drive-through, and of course, it freaks people out. Love it. They get so awkward. Let me know. I'm heading out in 15 minutes. That is. Oh, that's bad. Late. This one. Thank you. Lizzie Duval, thank you for a wonderful evening. Put your dagger for her family. He hasn't always been easy man to get along with, but I'm glad to see in such a way. Fashioning the lovely note. If you've been a long time subscriber of our emails or follow us on social media, you no doubt heard the misgendering that trans people are at times subjected to during their funerals. There have been notable situations where trans women have had their wishes overruled by their families and have had their hair cut, are buried under the wrong names and subject to the wrong pronouns in their obituary announcements. We care a lot about this because we believe in treating every person with the same level of compassion, respect, and care. Oh, I didn't expect like an actual wallop. Whoo! Whoo! Fuck. I'm okay. Ooh. After verification with medical records, the body or other traces enter unknown. Do not leave them blank. Leaving it up to the observant obviously enters the whole world of issues. So, yeah. People who are trans deserve the same respect and death that people who are cisgender receive. Misgendering and death takes away the respect. It can also inflict hurt and trauma on spouses and friends who survive the deceased. So what comes of funeral directors? Listen to the people who come into your office, especially with some marriages. Which I'm assuming the next one is about something. Today's funeral is a woman who died from breast cancer. Nothing fancy, just a standard cremation. Please don't hesitate to ask me if you have any questions. Okie dokie. Okay, now is a good time to take a small little bitty break because yikes! Well, not yikes, but like emotions. So I knew this game was gonna be sad, but I didn't realize how sad it was gonna be. Like, So we're gonna take a small little bitty teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini break. So y'all can like stretch your legs. So y'all can get something to eat, something to drink, all that jazz, because we're gonna be here for however long the game is. Also, I am planning to continue the Arcade Spirits game for the rest of the month. Because why not? Because why not? Because I don't think I'll ever have a chance to actually play it again. Outside of it. So we're gonna do it that. Do it then and there. This also means tomorrow. This charity, by the way, we're doing a charity. If I haven't mentioned that before. It's for the Trevor Project, which is helping young people of Sorry, why does I get all burpy whenever I say that? I think it's because I was drinking water and it's like a lot. Excuse me. We're helping the Trevor Project, which is a organization that helps the youth of the LGBT community, 25 and under, like be more them, basically, and yeah, basically be more them. We are here in the Crazy Donut Pride to basically provide a safe space for those members of LGBTQA plus community. It is a lot more difficult to say the whole thing, but it's worth it. Because Pride. Right. I'm also quite a little upset that the logo wasn't able to change. Like, come on, I made a donut. You know what? Here, I'll show you the donut, chat. I'll show you the donut. It's a nice donut. It's a nice donut, I promise. Where would it be? Not that donut. That's a different donut. Okay, spirits. Camera roll. No. This one. Oh, that is a large donut. Look how good this looks! Or I guess it was made to be small, so it's like, haha. Ta-da! You can barely tell. I'm sorry. You can barely tell. You can barely tell it's a donut. That's unfortunate. You can barely tell it's a donut. What a shame. But I think now is a good time we can get back into the game. Also, the background. Just saying. Okay, now we can actually get back into the game. So, before we cremate her, we need to prepare her body. Families brought clothing and jewelry for her to wear. It's important to remove these before the cremation process as to not damage them. Let's start by removing Miss Hall's necklace. Click and drag the necklace to the tray. We need to be able to identify Miss Hall's remains after she's cremated. Click and drag around the identification tag and place it in the coffin. Oh. As weird as that is. That's interesting. This is the cremator. Cremator is popularly crematory. Contrary to popular belief, cremation doesn't burn bodies into ash as much as into bone fragments. Using the cremator, we will break these bone fragments down into ash and like the remains. Hello. I swear to God, if it finds out that one of my favorite creators, if one of my favorite creators is also gonna play a Mortician's Tale, I'm gonna be. Press this, click and drag the urn back onto the counter. Make sure to put Miss Hall's necklace back onto the urn. Don't forget the tag. Into the urn? I thought you, okay, I guess. We'll take the urn for the funeral alongside with some flowers. Okay, anything we can do here? Any quick thing before I need to head on out? I also have coffee, so. There are stuff. Oh. Oh wait, no, that's me. Never mind. Thank you. Passing it on. Dating advice. Might try it. Okay. Daughter. Okay. Now we're good. Just double checking because I don't want to end up like miss out on specific things. It seems to me that there's gonna be it's a pattern of 2 2 1 1. This is nice in a weird way. She'd like that we're all here talking. She's always trying to keep the families together. I have a bad feeling about like all this. The food is delicious. I know that's weird. These crab cakes are perfect. I'm assuming these two are going to be the actual, or this one. That she was cremated and not like in an open casket or something. Seeing her like that, I don't know what if I can have the thing. At least we all got to say goodbye. She would have liked that. She would have hated this music. She never wanted her funeral to be so sad. She would have wanted us smiling. She said so. She fought really hard. She was proud of herself, never gave up, not once. She had short hair, so I'm on the fence with all this. Especially with the terms of LGBT. But that might also just be that might also just be like a part of the thing. Pacemaker? Oh. Funeral home. Treasure that rose for products. Unlock up in business. I had no idea how to start this email, and resources I googled told me that it would be best and the easiest way to break the ice. Be direct, be remorseful, Google said. The truth is, I don't really know what to say since my father passed away. I've done my best to make Rose and daughters warm and friendly to anyone who chose to use our services. It was my memorial to him, the original Rose, in a lot of ways, and you've all become like family, including you, Charlie, our most recent addition. But it's been getting harder to make ends meet. Rent is going up in the neighborhood, and I'm finding it less and less like I have the energy for this business. There's a lot of competition from other funeral homes, larger corporations. Than that we can take more on business and offer impressive services. Get to know all that. God damn it! It's a minesweeper type of thing. But I'm sorry. I know it's not like fun to laugh. It's like a serious topic, but like or I sold. We've been bought or I sold. Either way, soon Hillside Herbage Resources Inc., a company that owns many funeral homes in the city and across, will replace Rose and Daughters, starting from the beginning of next month. Same building, same name. They're keeping the name Rose Daughters Funeral Home for tax purposes, though. Honestly, I'm trying hard not to see it as a move on their part to keep up the image. That is a family-owned. That it's a family-owned business. I don't know how to feel about that, but also don't know if there's anything I can do at this point either. I've signed the papers, and at least my father's legacy is still intact somewhat. They have a good reputation, and they're also gonna be a bunch of assholes, aren't they? Unfortunately, that was one of the stipulations I would sell, as long as you weren't out of a job. Sorry I didn't tell you more personal way. I would have loved to have a company lunch, but I admittedly don't have the heart to tell you in person. Sincerely, Amy Rose. Thank you so much. I'm so eternally grateful that you were able to accommodate our request for my sister's funeral. It's beautiful service. She would have been happy with it. That's a weird thing to say, isn't it? Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Okay, I know this is an email might be a bit odd, but you said if I was ever having troubles, I would reach out to you, someone I could talk about all this. Just I don't know what to do. Like my grandfather had lived a full life and was very happy, and that she's not in any pain now, but still I feel empty. Amy, never felt this empty before. What am I supposed to do now? I thought I was stronger than this. Can you refer to me as someone to talk to? I don't want to freak out my mom right now. He's dealing with enough with work and the will and keep trying to just be the best mom you can. I just need somebody to talk to. Sorry. I thought I would forward this to you in situations like this. We're typically connect to people like Ryan with a grieving counselor or professionals who can really help them. Sometimes we can get emails like this and people don't know where else to turn. It's difficult when a family else is always the most reliable for some people. Isn't always the most reliable. Usually we'll be happy to connect with them, but I'm feeling a little tired today. I'm not my usual self. It would be good for you to start building these kinds of relationships on your own. You're a treasure. Manager, process. Charlie, I've been playing a new game when things are slow at work. It's called Tales from the Crypt Sweeper. Get it? Heh. It's a minesweeper, but way harder, like seriously. It's really, really difficult, and I thought my Minesweeper game was on point after rigging that overnight front desktop at the hotel for 3 years. But I must have gotten rusty. Anyways, instead of mines, you avoid graves so you don't disturb the adorable ghosts of the main character. And the main character kind of looks like you. Want to start a healthy competition? Highest score gets to pick the restaurant we go to next time Town's on us. Sure. Boop. Boop. Ooh. Damn it. Ooh, that one's a big one. That one's obviously there. I've never been good at Minesweeper, I'm not gonna lie. Damn it! I knew it. Haha. Hey. Okay, I'm done with that. Okay, last one. Last one besides the thing. Protecting the earth with green burials. During the part of risk of pollution, generally anywhere you can help. Anywhere you can help is So why not continue doing that even in death? Yes, that is also a lot of the chemicals that are in uh, like person variables are rather harmful for the earth. Is what I'm assuming, and so that's why I kind of wanna be like buried as a tree. Ironically, my mom, when we brought it up to her, uh, when we brought it up to her about that, she doesn't want to be buried as a tree because she doesn't want a dog pee on her. Which is fine and fine and dandy, but like, you know, it's funny. It's weird to think about, but it happens. It happens. But really, why do we go green? Why go green? The burial is to natural resources and reduce carbon emission. It's just over $1,000, so better for people, the environment, and just maybe so not so good for big businesses. Let's forget less people. This is a builder's after all. What? And many of their bodies aren't allowed to be involved with chemicals that can damage the environment. I mean, they can involve, but not with harmful chemicals. To reduce carbon emissions, protect health of the bodies, restore resolving contain formaldehyde. Fear vectors of heart higher rates like increase in leukemia. I have a feeling that's why we're because we're gonna work with it a lot. Okie dokie. Maria Reyes. You asked if there were any special instructions we wanted to pass along. Just please cremate my father. He has a pacemaker too. The doctor told me that that would need to be removed. Please see below about the pacemaker. They can be tricky. Okay. Yeah, we don't. This is the only thing we can actually have to auto reply. Okay, let's do this. Emotions. Hey! Mr. Reyes came directly from the hospital, so we don't have to worry about removing any valuables from him, as the family did not provide anything for us to include. However, Ms. Reyes has a pacemaker that we need to remove before cremation. Because pacemakers are batteries, they will explode inside of the hot heat of the cremation machine. We don't want that. Let's start by removing her pacemaker. As pacemaker, click on the forceps to pry open the wound. There we go. Let the forceps away, then place the tag on the tag. Oops. It's all set to be cremated now. Best of wishes. Please don't be alive. Like, legitimately, that would be terrifying. Whew. That would legitimately be terrifying. Just finding out they're not actually dead while cremating. Using cremator, we'll break the bones into fragments like ash. First this, then bones. Ooh, oops. Okay, I was about to say. Turn back on the thing, put this back on, and let's go. All done, Amy will take the urn to along with some flowers. Okay, anything else? By the way, have y'all seen on TikTok about that girl who decided to send her, decided to send her, wait, no. Before I do, let me do a quick game of this. Shit. Damn it, every single time. I've never been good at Minesweeper. think that's the best I'm able to do. Okay, that's gonna be the best I'm able to do. Okay. Hey, we got this. About the girl who got cheated on, so she decided to... Yeah. So she decided to, throw her boyfriend's ashes, the one who cheated, her boyfriend's mother's ashes off the side of a bridge. And honest to God, fuck her. I know it's bad that she got cheated on, and it's not right to be cheated on. Doesn't mean that you should disrespect somebody else, especially a dead body. So she's also now arrested, by the way. Did you ever end up clearing the air with your father? No, we've talked a few times, but not really. Sound like a difficult man. You were stubborn. That's just it, stubborn. I'm assuming they're together. What do you want to do after this? It's pretty nice out. Let's change and get to the patio some more. Sounds good. I really could use a beer right now. Hey, did I ever tell you the time we got tailgated? I always told him to quit smoking, but of course he never listened to me. That figures. I never wondered if he ever liked me. It was nice to me, but I don't know. He never seemed like he really cared if I was there or not. That's unfortunate. Ooh, it's sunny out. There we go. Now we can leave. I wonder if there's, like, specific things. February 29th. That's relatively new. I'm relatively recent. Also, 28th. No, the 29th is what leap day is. Hello! No more things from her. Just want to thank you for the service the other month. I apologize if I was disturbed. Abrupt. It was kind of a shock to me and I didn't feel comfortable with the whole process. I wasn't supposed to die yet. He wasn't supposed to die yet. It hadn't been that easy. Mushrooms! You hate mushrooms so much. I found the perfect thing for you. I've been thinking about death. I know, shocker. Look what you've done to me. I want this mushroom suit. I think I want this mushroom suit. No, it's not called that. But I can't remember the name of it, and I'm writing to you on my phone, so I don't feel like Googling it right now. Anyway, the idea is a biodegradable suit that the deceased wears. It made with what people call biomix, i.e. mushrooms and other microorganisms that help to decompose bodies, neutralize toxins in the body, and provide nutrients for the soil for plants. I think this is the one company even offer casket liners for use in green gaskets. I think this is what I want. It'll be just like Hannibal. Wait, don't tell people I said that, okay? Hannibal, if you don't understand, Hannibal eats people. But seriously, it's pretty cool. I love all the death and innovation something. We might as well do something when we're in the ground, you know? Love you. That's also a part of the, my idea of, being a tree, basically. Basically being a tree. Love you. Think about it. Let me know your thoughts. I want all of your thoughts. If it's not this, then maybe I'll have some of my ashes made into Julie. But seriously, I'm probably going to do this. There's no harm in planning ahead, right? Yes, no harm in planning ahead. No harm in planning ahead. At all. Things to avoid saying at funerals. Welcome back. Now we're ready to The statistical newsletter. Fortunately, we cannot deliver a little more solid advice on what not to say to someone who's grieving. So there is Funeral's monthly top 5 things not to say. At least they're no longer suffering. Even if this is true, nobody wants to hear this. Because nobody wants to associate the fact that their loved one was suffering before. Were they saved? No religious statements. Just don't. For all things. Yeah, they're with the angels now. See above. No. Above's no. Then rinse. Repeat. Let me know how I can help. This one is tricky. You want to be helpful, but some people just don't know what the next action is. Monies don't always ask for help. If you want to help, suggest specific things. For example, I'm free if you need someone to babysit the kids. Because that is vague as fuck and nobody wants that. Take them to their family's restaurant or buy them tickets to see a movie. I know how you feel. Even if you think you do, you don't. Unfortunately, even if you think you do, you know how somebody feels. Ultimately, you really don't. Unless you've been in the exact same situation as them, then you really don't. Plus everybody grieves in a different way, so for a quicker version of the list that can be applied in any situation, don't just say stuff like, for the sake of saying stuff. Just say, I'm sorry, if you don't know what to say. Hello? Disregard our son's will as it concerns matter of his burial. It was clearly not thinking right. Oh. Oh. Open cast and information. Opening a check. Oh. I was hoping you wouldn't have to confront this situation yet. Anyways, they're never easy. Rosendalers have asked to prepare the body of a young man who took his own life. He had a will prepared prepare an act for the cremation, but the family has demanded a traditional burial instead. Unfortunately, he didn't make anyone his power of attorney, or didn't have any witness signed his leaving. Regarding wishes, so his family is legally in the right to do whatever they want to his body. It's unfortunate, but we have to do it. It sucks. It's graciously offered to take this if you're uncomfortable with the subject. Instead, we have a second body you can prepare for the funeral. No, I'll do this. They're so young. I'm sorry. It's just seek help. I'm sorry, but just seek help. There are units and places you can get for help. Just please, if you need help, seek help. For the ready to open cast fuel. Let's start cleaning the body. It sucks. Honestly, it sucks. Shave the body. Massage rigor mortis. Glue each eye shut. Cotton balls. It doesn't matter on which side you start. Moisturize. Honestly, it would be better if we cremated, but whatever. But yeah, it's a difficult topic, definitely. And honestly, if you need help, please seek somebody. Therapy is not as expensive as you think. Like, legitimately. Plus, having an open ear to speak all your troubles onto, with their permission, obviously, is always a good thing to have. Don't do it to streamers, because they're not therapists, unless they say otherwise. Please. Hell, that's actually what a Trevor Project is about. If you need to talk to somebody about a topic, about a topic, then you can. There's also various therapy projects that are also very useful. And also, like, very useful works with that. Well done. Mike, take care of the misters. Mike would take care of the topics. Standing them in the casket. No, there's more people this time. Nope, never mind. Well, there is, but like, just one. You don't usually just go around. Oh, I wish we were closer now. Wow, can't believe this is real. My baby brother. I should have played more games with him when I asked. Aye. I heard it wasn't going to be an open casket. I'm surprised it's public. Usually funerals for these are more private. Huh. I can't believe he did it. I feel like I should have known, you know? Been able to do something to stop it. There's no way to know. You can't blame yourself. You wouldn't have wanted that. I know, it's just hurts. Yeah, I know. It's never a good topic. It's never fun. Woo! Excuse me. Boing. Boom. We are pleased to bring on the Rose and Daughters as a part of Hillside Heritage Enterprises. They will be other institutions amongst hundreds of other properties owned by across the country. But of course, as part of the administrative adjustment process, Hillside Enterprises culture, there will be a number of changes that will come to Rose and Daughters. We will send out a memo regarding the specifics and details of these heritages, and we respect them to be followed implicitly. Glad to be leading Rose and Daughters from now on. Can I just say, first off, this is bullcrap? Knowing how these corporations run, I wouldn't be surprised if they are monitoring our emails now. No, okay, I don't really believe that. I'm just upset. I get that Amy didn't have much of a choice if you can only fight a huge corporation taking all of your business for so long. This isn't 6 feet under. And they're just swooped in and now we have to deal with their BS practices? They're colder than the corpse I picked up from the morgue this morning. Who charges this much for funerals? Oh, how much? Oh, I don't think... Oh no. I'm assuming before there was like specific things. It's not saying the exact price, which is not good. Let's grab a drink after work. I need to blow off some steam, and these emails aren't the most appropriate place for me to do this. It's too late for me, I guess. Ooh. Come increase awareness of death with a view of helping people to make the most of their lives. And the finite lives join us. Have tea, cake, and talk about others of all your thoughts, fears, and illuminations on death. The founder of Death Cafe, John Underwood, once said when people start talking about death and dying, it tends to illustrate their humanity. See everyone at Upside Down Jar next Thursday. I can't really write much now. I have a lot of work I have to do with an integral hernia from 1750. It's the oldest in our collection, and you can see this bit of paper the surgeon can put in removing the hernia. Super cool. I'll send you the link when I have the cataloged. What is my life? What is that sentence I just typed? Anyway, this event that I'm looking forward you is taking place near you. I figured you'd be into it. Might help with the feeling of restlessness where you were talking about before. Could be good to talk about things that you're feeling. Lots of death positive people here. Sounds like a safe place. It does sound like a safe place. Jen Love, Madam Curator. Funeral rites. My mama, I'm a ear. Itchy. Ooh, wow. Never gonna stop. Hello. Oh, what's this? Hello. Oh, hey. That's funny. Sorry, I got sidetracked. My bad. I know you're probably difficult to read because it's a small thing, but my bad. Funeral rites, even in our own culture, may be something many of us be unfamiliar with. For many people, all they known of funerals and traditions they've seen in media. Judaism begins with somebody after they pass. Up until radio, the body is never supposed to be alone. The families will often appoint a Schumer as a guardian to remain with the body. And all parties are strictly religious focused. In South Korea, the amount of grave space began to shrink drastically, causing the law to be passed that required families to remove a loved one's body from its burial place after 60 years. That's weird. Families get cremated more and more often, but they are also companies and compressed restraints into the dead. Turquoise, pink, and black called dead death beads. Turning their bones of formaldehana ritual. Malgalsi. People of Madagascar. Death is a pain. Thank you, Mr. Grant, for agreeing to take care of Jocelyn's cremation. The bike accident was, well, it was more than I was expecting. I know she wanted to be cremated, and to be honest, I don't think I can bear to see, after what happened. Below is a detail of their next line. Ensure you follow the requested specifications exactly. After you're done, I will review your work to be evaluated you properly at the end of the month. Fun! Body for cremation. Take off the thing and place around in this one. Miss Lorenzo is ready to be cremated. I just have a bad feeling about something. I don't know what it is, but it's like... will be trading into freshmen's the last urn, bone. to the funeral parlor. Be down long with some flowers. Okay. I don't think there's anything new with that. There's a lot more people. Oh, there's gonna be a lot more people, isn't it? Should we do a vigil at the spot? Careless drivers, I swear to God. Oh, should we get hit by a car? I'm glad I'm here, but now I need a glass of wine and to binge watch something right now. Respect. As I go through with all her things, how am I supposed to decide what to keep? If you need help, I can help. No thanks, I mean. But no, I don't know. It's so intimate. Feels like I should be doing it myself. If she would kill me if I saw the things to be had. She was kind of closed a book, except to you. Yeah, she was special. I'm glad it was cremation. I would have lost it if I seeing her body. Honestly, she always was so careful. Wore her helmet, signaled, used the bikes, lanes, asshole drivers. They need to pay attention. Have you heard what's happening to the driver? No, I haven't even wanted to ask Leah. Leah. This has been hard enough on them, without asking about legal ramifications of this. Yeah, after all this, let's see what we can do to help them. I shouldn't deal with the death of their partner all by themselves. And pay respects. I'm assuming it's her. I believe people don't believe that. I think people think, oh, we're just good friends. No. March 24th, 10 a.m. I know. Okay. Ooh, okay, this is going to be a long one. I said in the previous email, there are new rules and code of conduct I expect you to follow from now on while Hillside Heritage. First and foremost, there are required uniform and strict dress code from now on. Second, you're probably no tattoos to be visible. Yeah, visible tattoos are probably covered and hidden. Fun. Here's what I said that we can and will provide green burials. I should have informed you this from the beginning, but we do not perform green funerals as they are not cost effective. Fuck off. Please, authorities, industries must comply. Do not wish to lose potential customers. Fuck off. Charlie, I need a drink. Beer after work? Honestly, why not? Also, I really want mozzarella sticks. I can be hungry and hangry. And no, I will not say hangry ever. Dr. Zaius. Sorry, what? Just saw a video of a gorilla walking on its hind legs. Like a human being, Charlie. A human being! We as a species have been beginning of our end. Seen the beginning of our end. Yep, thank you. I fucking hate this dude. So far. It's not cost effective. And you'd think it'd be more cost effective to have a motherfucking, like, full on wooden fucking caskets in the ground for years to come? Fuck off. Yeah, apparently for many, especially if the deceased was somebody very close to you. The idea of keeping them at home until you're ready to bury them or cremate them is comforting. That isn't long ago that we were taking care of our own deceased, but nowadays people are quick to pass their loved ones at a funeral home. Longer periods of time. The idea of keeping the deceased body at home sounds gross, but it's important to understand that decomposition takes a long time. Decomposition takes a long time, and you can further slow its process by keeping your home cool and dry. To be around your loved ones, see them decay naturally is an important part of the grieving process. Really? Interesting. Okay. I'm proud to announce Hillside Heritage has received a contract with the city to compose of any unclaimed bodies. This is important to revenue stream for us, as I'm sure I don't need to explain to you, Charlotte. Oh. There it is. There it is. He's not calling me Charlie anymore. Strictly business. Is being paid a decent wage from the city. The services cremation is preferred. Here is more cost effective than two options. The first unclaimed body will be handling belongs to a middle-aged man, presumably hopeless, whose body has yet to be claimed. No specific preparations are just needed cadaver from the side from cremation. I hate him already. Not the body, but the dude. Yeah, we need to prepare his body. He doesn't seem to have any valuables on him, so that would be damaged by during the cremation. So just don't worry about putting a dinner tag on his coffin. Okie dokie. Godspeed, home slice. Godspeed. Now is a good time to mention that we also are doing a charity and also is a good opportunity to say that if you need to talk, they're there for you. Ash like remains. Place the urn. Oops. Bone. And that is weirdly specific a place you can go. Back. Matthew will be taken to the funeral. Yay! It's gonna be a nippy. I mean, it happens. This is also a part of like some life where if they don't have anybody, then nobody's gonna show up. So you have to be the one. If you're like a mortician like this, you have to be the one to pay your respects, even though they have no idea who you are. That's a person. Oh, those are all the unclaimed bodies. I'm pretty sure, because that one in the middle over here is new. We're all thrilled to announce that Hillside Heritage Subsidiary Rosendale has signed a contract with Morning Valley Hospital, allowing us to access all their cadavers that come through their pediatric material wards. Oh no! Patriarchic and maternity wards. Hoppy bone. It's right side. This hurts me. It's official. I put in my 2-week notice. You know how unhappy I am with working for a mega corporation 101. My skills, especially my driving ones, are useful in other professions. I'm not worried about myself, but you am I worried about. You're too good for this corporation scum. You actually care about the people you work for and you work with. Don't let them defeat you, okay? P.S. I'll bring bears over the next week. We can talk more freely. Dating a special effects makeup artist, and she is like the coolest I've ever met in my life. I'm assuming she is I take it that she's a crush. But delighted that an idea of support group for people who have been possessed. Your best recommendation in that was your best recommendation in a while, Charlie. You were slipping here. I was getting worried that you had lost your taste. But yeah, her name is Lily, and she's super death positive and is freaked out about my work, and also isn't too into it like that last dude I saw. Jason? Michael? God, I can't remember. I just really like spending some time around her. I can talk. We're gonna start seeing less and less from her, aren't we? I can talk about whatever I want, and it's never conversation stopper. She also totally gets what I mean when I say like working with dead, and specifically spending so much time thinking about death actually makes me happier. It makes everything else feel so much more worth it, you know? Memento mori, or whatever they taught us in the one poetry class we took. We just clicked. It feels good. Fun and informing like dating should be. I'm thinking of taking her to Maple Meadows. She's super into roller coasters, and I think the idea of sharing cotton candy, or maybe not, I don't want to throw up on rides. It's sickeningly cute. Then maybe I'll kiss her on the top of a Ferris wheel. It's be super corny and cliche for once in my life. Anywho, though, about me for now, I'm still kind of in shock for our last email. What do you think you're gonna do it? You know you have my support 100%, no matter what side you take. Ah, okay. Register your business. 11 permits. Ooh, we're gonna start a business. Nice! Flemish cremation. It's a bit of a oxymoron, but we'll let it slide. It's a bit of an oxymoron, but we'll let it slide. Yes. Perhaps more commonly, resummation? No. Resummation. Its technical name, though, it's actually alkaline hydrolysis. Whatever you want to call it, it's a friendly alternative for traditional cremation. For the sake of this newsletter, we'll call it water cremation. Do we boil them alive? Not alive. Do we boil them? Boil them so much that their stuff just starts melting. We know that traditional cremation and burials take a huge toll on the environment. High communications, greenhouse gas effect, being one of the chief amongst. I realize there's a lot of flickering going on right now. It's like, oh, spooky. Also, I apologize if I'm just constantly like this. I can't see very well. Okay, that's just the trees then, huh? The trees are like, haha, shade. Tossing some shade and all the way. How does it work? It's basically a water-based chemical. Alco in water, heated up very high. About 350 Fahrenheit. That's pretty fucking hot. It basically works like a speed-up version of a natural decomposition. Process the excess water through the same water treatment process as many sewage water at a factory. And alkaline hydrolysis is significantly less energy than traditional cremation process. Nice, huh? Neat, huh? It's been around. It's a healthier way to it. Plus, I'm pretty sure cremation has quite a considerable amount of stuff. Oh, this is a longer email. This time we spoke, my daughters would still prefer to be host a funeral ourselves. And my keyboard should be buried. I just want to make sure she's taken care of. After her heart attack was so sudden, I don't know what to do. We just want to make sure she's proper send off. Make this time difficult easier for you. Thank you for choosing this package. Letting us take care of the food with our preparation service will be good. Okay, we'll take the traditional funeral package. Thank you for considering us in this hard time. I see you were not able to conceive. Take a standard. I had to contact them myself in order to not lose this sale. Please read the enclosed emails for a lesson how to properly insightful customers. I don't want to say that you've lost any customers because of your refusal to upsell. Sure thing. Sure thing. Open casket. Woo! The racks for open casket funeral, so we now need to clean the body. It's always difficult with all these said things. Honestly, I really adore this game. The art style is absolutely beautiful. The minimal colors is very pleasing to the eye. Eye caps. Oh. That explains a lot. I'm now realizing how that looks, huh? My mama. Apologies. I needed a sneeze. Moisturize. A small incision. Gotta get the tubing. This thing. With more tubing. And then turn it. We need to wait. Oh, wait. Now we need to do this. It's interesting, honestly. I'm not too big on the whole, hey, death stuff, but like, I'm not opposed to learning more about it. I have a weak stomach with actual visuals and like gore and stuff. Not the weakest of stomachs. I've gotten used to gore because of anime and such, and media. But luckily, I've actually dealt with a lot of it, so that's fun. So that's fun. Well, it's not fun, but you know what I mean. All done. Mike will take care of the makeup. Nice. Let's go. Let's see how many people is there. Ooh, a lot. And they're all in doubles. Neat. It's so cold in here. They could have put air conditioning in too high. Yeah, let's go for a walk later. It's really nice out. It'd be pretty nice to stretch the legs. I should probably stretch my legs in all honesty. I'm stopped after this one. I'm gonna take a small break. Make me still feel so hungry. You're always hungry. What's up? Do you think we did the right thing? I feel bad for what my mom asked for. I know, honey, but what Chad guy said, it seems right. I don't think we want to dishonor her memory by letting her not. Yeah, I just wanted to know I loved her. I wish I hadn't yelled at her before. It's okay, she knew you loved her. Fights happen, don't be so hard on yourself. I'm going to miss her. Me too. Sadness! I'm okay, it's fine. I'm fine. I feel so impersonal. You would have hated this. Yeah, but I don't know But I don't know. They must have had their reasons. Oh, hey. What do you think of the trailer I sent you? Oh yeah, I've heard that show is good. I saw a video on one kid actor doing karaoke. Respect. I feel like it's also not a bit weird because they sort of look like, oh hey, we have our own place. Nice. Hey, we have our... Oh wait, I forgot to take a small break. We're gonna take a small break. I'm still gonna be here, don't worry. Don't worry. It's all gonna be fine and dandy. I know this isn't the best time to mention the charity stuff, but charity. Again, it's all about, like, life and death. And with the Trevor Project, we are basically coming together to have a safe space to talk about yourself and like stuff you're going through. And all that. We may not be the best when it comes to death, and this game may not have been the best choice, but it's good to talk about this every now and again. So, if you would like, you can donate to help the Trevor Project continue what they're doing and like helping the youth of the LGBT. I mean, you don't have to. It's all fine. You could also share this. The charity I'm doing is going to be going on for the entire month. So, hope that's all good and dandy. 3, 2, 1. There we go. That's all good and dandy. So, all fine and good. Congratulations! Charlie dear, I'm so proud of you. I knew there was something special about you when I hired you for Rose and Daughters. Oh hey, this is Melgoria Forest, a funeral home and natural burial park. Ooh. All inclusive. Green burial service for adults, all inclusive. Direct cremation, all inclusive. Infants are buried with no charge. We can provide a 3x3 plot and help opening and closing the grave. I'm sorry. You'll never believe what new job I'm working at. Open this email to find out. When I first became a horse driver, I was told that my most important job wasn't steering, it was sympathizing. I respectfully disagree, and thankfully I concentrated on my driving skills, since I now work as a, wait for it, bus driver. A school bus driver. Shirley, can you believe that? Pretty sure that if I said the most important part of my job wasn't steering, I'd be fired immediately. I didn't know how else to tell you. For some reason, I was worried that you'll think less of me, but I don't. But now, nope. I don't know why you've never seen the judgment kind, and besides, corpses are way easier to deal with it than children. Screaming children, might I add. Actually, I love it. These kids are fucking cute. But don't tell Amy I told you that. You're always harping on me for not having any kids and for being all cynical about them. Congrats on the new business, Charlie. I'm proud of you. I'll swing by your new place one day. I'll show you my new wheels. Maybe you can grab a bite to eat. See ya. Charlie, I'm so happy for you. I know it's been a rough year for you. Seriously, I think our wine intake saw a gazillion% increase. But you stuck through it all like a champ. You deserve this. Finally being your own business, being your own boss, is a great move for you. No having to explain anything to you don't want to. I'm trying to not be cheesy right now. Can't wait to be home next week for our visit. Check out your new space. Always, Jen Love. P.S. Have you heard about these green burial pods? When I find link in my 1 million tabs, I'll shoot it to you. Today is the day already, isn't it? I can't believe how quickly it has come up. Thank you for your understanding. It made it easier. You made today easier. See you at 1 p.m. See you soon. Honestly, that's dope as fuck. Yay, being your own boss. Yay, being your own boss. Oh, hey, we've, Chatty Charlie, we've spoken to everybody. This hurts as, I thought it'd be easier, but it's not. It hurts so much. Thank you for helping me give her a funeral she's always wanted. No problem. Anyway, I think we're ready to get started now. Rest in peace. Okay, now it's fading to white. Because you usually think, oh, it's fading to black. Not this time. It's a brighter day. Honest to God, I fucking love this. Like, it's such a cool idea. It's such a difficult topic to actually be able to speak about death. And honestly, hey, Kermit. And honestly, like, what can you do? Like, about it? All you have to do is, like, all you can do is let them grieve and hope for the best. But when in reality, Luna. In the book I'm reading has a Luna as a dog. Honestly, this is the exact reason why I want to make games. See, originally I was under the impression that games are made to be fun. That is not always the case. If the game that you're trying to do is made to be fun, then you'll make it fun. But it's not the always thing. Always ifs and buts, not ifs and buts, like the actual thing. Option credits. Let me quickly see. What are the other achievements? Because I'm missing one. Oh. Crypt Sweeper Keeper. Win a game of Tales of the Crypt Keeper. I'm never getting that. I'm sorry. Respectfully, I'm never getting that. Respectfully, I'm never getting that. I know, I apologize. I know I feel like I shouldn't apologize, but I'm still gonna apologize regardless. I am sorry that all the charity... I'm sorry for talking about all the charity stuff when there's not a lot I'm really doing to, like, fully push on it. I've never been one to, like, hey, give me your money. I've never been like that. I've never once tried to be like that. I've never enjoyed being like that. It's always the most difficult time when it comes to stuff like that, because my philosophy is, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to. And that's basically has been true for the entirety of this. Like, it's there if you want to donate, but you don't have to. My goal is to just have fun and play games and show you that it's a safe space, that you can just be yourself. I'm still gonna do a yearly charity stream just for the heck of it. Because I can. I want that to be a staple of something I do with this career. And honestly, if nobody shows up, that's perfectly fine. They have all month to do something. They have all month to donate. It's only like a specific few. I'm also realizing that I could have fucking streamed more during this week instead of the 2 days that I did. And I'm now realizing that it probably would have been a better idea to stream every single day of this week. But I couldn't plan for it because of the fact that that I had started work, and there was a lot of things that I had scheduled but never finalized. For example, we had Pride Fest the 18th and 19th. We know it's going to be the 18th and 19th, but we just don't know that if we're going to go somewhere for it, if it's going to be specifically for something, all that such. So it happens. On a side note, for about the LGBTQ plus games, there is a bundle on itch.io that has a bunch of LGBT games and like content. So I highly recommend getting that. It's $60, but it's highly worth it. It's for 590 something games. Not 590 something games plus a shit ton of like different like art, books, you name it. It's amazing. I'm actually gonna get it. I'm actually gonna get it. So anyway, y'all, thank you all for joining me. Hope to see you again next time. And as always, I'm gonna continue the charity stuff for next week because I can, and I'm free all week next week. So, and also maybe tomorrow, depending on depending on what we find out. So, one moment. Sorry, I'm back. So anyway, thank you all for joining me. Hope to see y'all again next time. And as always, keep smiling. Don't get to be a little crazy. And hasta luego. Mwah. Thank you all for joining me and joining me with this journey. Respect the dead. Because the memories is all we have, and you respect that. If you disrespect that, then what do you have? I think that makes sense. Love all y'all. All y'all. All y'all.